This video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you've followed this channel for a while, you know that we are slipping into a dystopian consumer nightmare where grocery stores are not known for selling food, but for doing dynamic pricing to achieve the most profits on things that they sell, or price gouging on basic household staples, or creating $25 celebrity smoothies for some reason. But somehow in all of this mess, Costco has become a goddamn beacon of hope. Fundamentally, incredibly, Costco has developed trust with their clientele, which amongst major companies in 2026 is a very rare thing. Costco is one of those companies that you just hear good things about. Like, they just seem to be on the correct side of history when it matters, and they deliver a product and a service that is so undeniably good that it is loved by people across the political and social spectrum. Now, I've recently become a Costco member. I've personally gone from a skeptic to a consistent Costco shopper. Personally, I have my own list of Costco essentials that I look forward to buying there. But it's obviously not just me or people like me, or just because there is no other option. Costco is quietly goated, and today we're going to explain why. All right, now before anyone else gets in the comments, no, we are not sponsored by Costco. We get probably a comment or two every video being like, yo, what's up with the Costco sponsorship? You guys got Costco product placement in your videos, dog? Read the sticker. Costco whole wallet, here for the $1.50 hot dog. This sticker, along with this one, are a part of a sticker pack that we release for sale once a year. It's sort of like a token of support for the channel. We'll be doing it again around Christmas time. If you want to participate with that, subscribe and maybe you'll be around when we launch that. I would love to be sponsored by Costco. That would be great. They don't sponsor people. They don't have to, as we're gonna get into later. So in the past, I have been critical of Costco because it felt just like blatant overconsumption, right? The Super Size Me version of all the goods, the corporate loyalty program, the hype that the brand held in our culture, it felt like too much, you know, like it was just inevitably going to be a letdown. Because here's the thing, like, people love Costco, like love Costco.
I saw a video of somebody showing off their Costco membership card. They were allowed to take a picture with their baby in their Costco membership card. So it was like them holding up their baby in the picture. All of the comments on the TikTok were like, my dad did this with me in the 90s and that's still his Costco membership card picture. And when we come in, he's like, that's her all grown up now. Like, how sweet is that? So there is kind of like a family tradition. There's a culture around Costco that is different from other grocery stores.
There's fan-made subreddits and Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts and websites and blogs dedicated to just how awesome the store is. There's a whole strategic community online of how to make the most of your Costco benefits that could like get you a degree at a university. And listen, while I'm not gonna celebrate my birthday party there like some people do, I now have a better understanding and appreciation as to why this happens. In the years that I have been making content about consumerism online, which is going on like 8 years now, I have watched the bar of what we expect from corporations get lower and lower and lower, which has made Costco look better and better as a result. And that is a part of this story that we're going to talk about later. In the past, I've been critical about Costco, but as I've gotten older and more tired in the last 4 years, maybe since becoming a father and a homeowner, I have a new understanding of Costco. Because like it or not, I think that this store and the products in it are actually contextually appropriate. We are here in North America. We drive big cars, we have big houses, and so it kind of makes sense to buy a gigantic jar of pickles if you have the space for it. Like if you're a single person or even a couple who lives in a small apartment in an urban area, the use case for Costco doesn't really line up because you could just walk down the street and go to the grocery store for pickles when you need them. You don't live 20 minutes into the suburbs where pickles are a lot harder to come by. I'm really locked into the pickles for some reason right now. So here's the thing. Costco is not just a affordable way to get your groceries. It is much deeper than that. They have cultivated and built a level of trust in their customers that is extremely hard to find in our modern consumer world. Now, on this channel, we talk a lot about all the negative shit that's going on in our consumer world, so it is very nice to talk about something positive and a company that I personally frequent. And this is very similar to the way that we approach our sponsors. That's why we are proud to work with Squarespace, a company with a focus on helping people through making something complicated, like building a website from scratch, actually incredibly easy. And that's Squarespace, baby. As you may know, we like to work with sponsors that we have used personally, so we know that they are a genuinely good product and they don't promote mindless consumerism. We decided to go with Squarespace because we built our site with them, and they offer a complete library of website templates with options for every use and category. Matthew, our editor, also uses Squarespace for his personal website where he showcases his skills, and the platform made that process super seamless with intuitive drag and drop editing, beautiful styling options, great visual design effects, and more. So go to squarespace.com/Hildebrand or click the link in the description for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code Hildebrand to save yourself 10% off the first purchase of a website or domain. Now, if you already have a website that's outdated or it just needs a revamp, or you're starting from scratch, Squarespace is the perfect place to get started, as they have integrated SEO tools for online discovery. Every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more. So you show up more often on search engines, and which brings more people to your site. Like, that's the whole point of having it. They've also got built-in analytics tools to review website traffic, learn where to focus your engagement, and track revenue from bookings, invoices, or product sales, all in one place. It's actually extremely convenient. So if you're interested, go to squarespace.com/Hildebrand or click the link down in the description for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, just use the code Hildebrand to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you to Squarespace for being awesome, for sponsoring the channel, for making this video happen. Now let's get back into it. So when I started shopping at Costco, just a dad with his kid and a list of things he's got to pick up and a lot of responsibilities weighing on his shoulders, you start to understand how Costco continues to win. As we sort of said off the top, grocery shopping today is a bit of a nightmare. We got shrinkflation, price gouging, scammy products all over the goddamn place. And Costco takes just like a portion of the mental load that grocery shopping is and eliminates it. Costco's philosophy seems to just be simplicity. They carry significantly less items than other stores. And so when it comes to specific products within a category, there is less to choose from, which is actually a good thing. This is what I'm calling Kirkland curation. I love it. Pat on the back there, sir. And this is actually great because in a consumer landscape of endless options, we often experience full-blown choice paralysis looking at the selection of peanut butter on the shelf or pickles. Just because I'm on the pickles thing right now. And this has been going on for a long time, and I genuinely don't understand why companies don't realize this. We as consumers don't want to have to decide which peanut butter is the right peanut butter. We just want peanut butter or pickles. But it is not just simplifying the shopping experience, it's the curation of the shopping experience. Because we also know that getting what is good off the shelf is another challenge. And this is why Costco wins again, because they're known for carrying only the products that are of a certain caliber. We trust Costco's judgment as to the kinds of products that we should buy. We are in a culture that really celebrates the idea that you are what you buy, and we are trusting Costco with the quality of the goods that we buy and the prices that we should pay for it. Imagine letting your friend go into a store and pick out a whole outfit for you, and you trust them fully with like the style and the price. How likely are you to be satisfied with what they pick? Now, I have to clarify that Costco is not the only person who does the in-store brand thing. There are stores like Trader Joe's that have leaned heavily into the same idea and who have very famous in-store products that people love. So it's not entirely unique, right? But what no other store can compete with Costco on is samples.
Okay, yeah, 2 hands. Good, good. But I don't think people realize how powerful of a tool it is in terms of retention. You're out here doing your shopping at every other grocery store. Very rarely do you see samples at a regular grocery store, but there's always samples at Costco. That sample goes a long way to your enjoyment, right? Like what happens when you walk into a friend's house? They offer you some food. They give you some food to help you feel more welcome and at home in their home. And Costco's doing that when you're grocery shopping. Like that's brilliant psychology, especially for parents. You're all done with that? Okay, we'll go get you another sample. That's our operation, right? Yeah, right. Grab the whole thing. Grab the whole thing. Like if you're a parent and you're gonna go grocery shopping, I guarantee you basically anyone with a kid is gonna say they rather shop at Costco than another store because of those samples. Especially for, moms who are, shopping for their kids by themselves. Like you can easily take your toddler to the grocery store if it's at Costco and get all your grocery shopping done. This is the thing too, Costco knows this. Like they understand that if they can make shopping easier for moms, they're going to capture a huge amount of household spending because who does the majority of shopping in the household, Frankie? Who does the majority of the shopping in the household? It's mom, that's right.
And sort of like a connected part to this is the $1.50 hot dog as we referenced on the sticker and the food court itself. Like they make the shopping experience an experience. They make it something that people look forward to. Like people go out for a Costco trip, right? Like you make it a destination for people. And I think there's actually another layer to this as well. So you have the samples, you have the food court, and then you have the bulk buying experience. And I think what this does is it really places Costco as a outlier in the grocery store experience, right? Because if you're going to Costco, you're not just going for your standard grocery shop. You're almost always going there with higher priced items in mind. You're going there with a maybe longer shopping experience in mind, and you're going to be willing to spend more money.
Leah's sister has 3 boys. She shops at Costco because she has to. She buys 3 4-liter jugs of milk a week. I think that's what she said.
I wouldn't be surprised.
She's like, if I buy that at a regular grocery store, it's like $1 to $2 more per jug. And I'm going through way more food than that. So it's like, at a certain point, yeah, you are a restaurant. You do need an industrial sized thing of pickles.
I also think we're explaining Costco as like a suburban phenomenon. Like you had a kid and so now you realize like, oh, I need to 1.5 times everything that I buy. But I also think like you see a lot of Costco's in rural areas, or at least gateways to rural areas, where people may have to drive 2 hours to get to a grocery store, and they only want to do that once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's my parents.
The idea of stocking up is literal. Like they are filling themselves to the brim and then using all of that before they absolutely have to go back to the store, at which point they are going to get as much shit as possible again.
I think that the Costco shopper is probably a more intentional shopper than people 100%. Who go to Walmart.
If you know that you're gonna go in there and spend like $20 per item, you're gonna probably think about that purchase a little bit more. You're going to plan out the meals that food goes towards, right? Now, I got pretty overwhelmed there at the end of this shopping trip because apparently Costco is never not a zoo where I live. There was literally a lineup to the back of the store on both sides. It was actually freaking bonkers.
We've been in this lineup for how long, Frankie? How long have we been in this lineup for? Oh, look at this, but we get a sample. Look at that.
But here's the craziest bit. Despite the Mardi Gras without the booze going on inside the store, the staff was happy. This is kind of an amazing thing to think about too, right? Because this is a warehouse with pallets inside. It's not cozy. It's not a low stress environment. It is a real job that is not easy, but the people that are there are mostly in a good mood every time that you go. And it's like, oh wow, what do you know? Offering higher entry level wages, more access to employee benefits alongside better working conditions leads to employee satisfaction and therefore retention? Who would have fucking guessed it, boys? Who would have thought that treating people with respect would make them want to work for you longer than like the training period? And on top of this, employees get frequent bonuses, plenty of time off, and an employee-friendly scheduling situation. It has been proven that the happiness of your employees is contagious. Customers can pick up on how well the staff are treated in your establishment, how much they like showing up for work, and it just makes business better all around. Like, I don't want to pick on anyone specifically, but like, when you go to the dollar store, are the staff happy? Part of the energetic thing that happens when you go into a dollar store is like, you feel the crunch that made the dollar store necessary. Like, if you're shopping at a dollar store, in some cases, you are going there because you can't afford anything else. And if you're working at a dollar store, you're working there because you kind of can't work anywhere else. Like, nobody wants to work at a dollar store. Dollar General is not like a fucking glowing institution to work for.
Costco has really done something to like enmesh themselves culturally with the North American people in a way that, you know, Walmart, even though Walmart is incredibly popular, hasn't necessarily been able to do. I don't think people consider themselves Walmart families in the same way that people consider themselves Costco families.
I mean, isn't Walmart the biggest employer in the United States? The people who work there hate Walmart because, like,
Yeah, that's the difference.
the Walmart life cycle in a small town. You have a town of people, there's a different hardware store and a grocery store and a clothing store, and those all have different owners on different parts of the street. It's a kind of working small community. And then the Walmart moves in. Somehow in one store, it's able to replace all of those different shops, and all of those go down, and all of the shops that weren't replaced by Walmart suddenly lose all of their customer base because everybody who had owned their stores previously are now working on a minimum wage. Walmart, once it starts to lose the customers that were there at the beginning when it first moved in, closes shop and moves out, and maybe that building gets turned into an Amazon warehouse or whatever. That's the life cycle. They carve out these small towns and then they leave it an empty shell. And you see these kinds of town-shaped places scarring all over middle America.
And the Costco's actually opposite. There's a great video that a creator made. He actually shows the opposite. Like, Costco actually improves the economic outcomes of an area drastically.
Because people come from rural areas to that center. It becomes an urban center, basically.
But listen, good vibes and some practical conveniences is not enough to make Costco the institution that it is today. So in Canada, where I live and love and buy groceries, we have a grocery monopoly problem. In many places in the country, you can't buy food from anyone other than these guys. And guess who? Costco. If we didn't have Costco in the Canadian market, there would be no one else to compete with these giant monopolies. That's why I've started recently shopping at Country Grocer, which is a regional chain near where I live, specifically to avoid shopping at Save On Foods, which is a part of a larger conglomerate owned by a terrifying looking billionaire named fucking Jimmy Pattison. Look at this Nosferatu looking motherfucker. You're telling me he needs like $8 billion? What is this guy doing with his $8 billion? Tax him. I created a whole short about how I've shifted my grocery shopping habits over on my Instagram account. If you are interested in that, it is linked down in the description as well. It's kind of a fun follow in addition to this, sort of like a complimentary page. And nowadays, it is usually safe to say that if something is bad in Canada, it's probably worse in the United States, but in this particular case, the United States actually has more options because of more successful regional players. And they fucking beat us in hockey. Twice. Costco's mission to provide value to its customers is such a simple, fundamentally good idea that it appeals across the political spectrum in what is probably the most dystopian and divided timeline in human history. I mean, maybe not. We've had some pretty good runs in the past, but things aren't doing too great right now. But on the political stage, we see Costco being willing to stand on business too. Costco sued Donald Trump because of all the tariffs that he was imposing on groceries, and despite some calls from MAGA for a boycott, this ended up boosting their sales and increasing overall loyalty to the brand. And sadly, this should just kind of be the standard. Let's be really clear here. We're not making this video because Costco has raised the bar so high that we now see how great things could be if we all just did it this way. It's that the bar has become so unbelievably low across the board that Costco stands out for what should just be considered to be standard practices. I don't want Costco to be the high standard. I think that there's a lot of ways in which Costco could be better. We should not have to accept that just treating workers with respect and running a decent business is the best that we can do. In a world where we are slowly all realizing that capitalism sucks for everyone who lives within it, Costco is like a beacon of what capitalism could have been if greed wasn't one of its core tenets. And so when we hear them talking about the fact that they pay workers decently and they respect them, it sort of reminds us of something, far gone in a way, all the olden days of when companies used to respect their workers. Costco sadly reminds us that the world could be a better place if we weren't just as greedy as we could possibly be all the time. That is a capitalism problem, that is a consumerism problem, but sadly, when you are stuck in the system, you just kind of have to go with the best that's available. And sometimes it's Costco, but sometimes it's going to be your local grocery store, your local farm, your farmer's market, your local seller of eggs or bread or cheese or honey. There's a lot of ways to get food on the table. And while Costco is a great option, I encourage you to look at all the other available avenues for feeding yourself and your family. And if you want to see more stories like this, subscribe to the channel and we will see you every week for another upload.
So I'm realizing in this moment, I stole from Costco. I stole these. This was stolen. We didn't pay for these because I didn't see them in the bottom of the cart. Costco, if you want to be reimbursed for your baked beans, comment on this YouTube video and I'll hit you back.